Well, hi, everyone.
Hello.
We're back. And what we wanted to talk about today is the challenge that a lot of our clients bring to us about staying on the program. You know, they love the results they're getting from going whole food, plant-based. And where they find a challenge often is when they are with other people and they're concerned about what will others think.
Especially when they're with other people who are not whole food, plant-based.
Right. And, you know, most of our relationships have all developed around food and everything's fine and we all eat the same thing. And suddenly, one of us starts to go off the track.
Yeah, yeah.
And so then from both sides, it can create this kind of feeling of discomfort. It's like, well, why are they eating differently? Why aren't they eating meat anymore? Why aren't they eating cakes and cookies anymore? And that brings up a lot of feelings.
And cheese.
Geez, what about the pizza?
Yeah.
And so there's a concern about what others will think, and it creates this conflict within us. You know, we want to continue to belong to the tribe, you know, to have our friendships and that easy flow. And it also brings up, well, for me, some of us have kind of developed a strategy of pleasing people as a way to fit in. So if that's been part of the dynamics of the relationships, then boy, that one gets triggered big time.
And that was your history for a long time.
History for sure.
People pleasing par excellence.
So that was great if there was one person, but put two people. Well, no, that's not true. I was going to say it's good if there's one person, but if there are two, I'm hooped because these people want different things from me. So how can I do it? So maybe we'll just keep it to one-on-ones. It really limits your life, I can tell you. And with Connie, it was really such a wake-up call because as much as I saw that we were had such an affinity for each other, we were so alike, kind of on a real deep level, our desires of life, our love of life, our curiosity of life. But when we come out into expression in the world, we do things differently. She's a real bottom line, broad stroke person that gets stuff done, a trailblazer, dynamic. And I'm this real high detail, thinking, intellectual kind of person. And it works well together. But she keeps things moving and I can't take care of the details and that kind of thing. So that works fine. But where I would get into trouble is that trying to keep her happy, trying to please her, I would go, oh, she doesn't like this about me. So I won't express that anymore. And then, oh, I think that upset her a little bit. So maybe I just don't express that. I had this whole chess game going on inside myself, all these rules and that. And I would keep kind of withdrawing.
And I hated it.
She hated it so much. It was interesting because it was almost a 6-month cycle that every 6 months she would finally just blow it. And she would grab me literally by the collar. She would say, "Where are you?" I had disappeared. I was kind of this automaton, this kind of robot, just going through the motions because I didn't want to upset her. It doesn't work. You know, the whole people pleasing thing and being concerned about what other people will think. When we look for solutions to make that a part of our lives and a part of our relationships, it really limits the relationship, keeps it very superficial.
And I think more important, we all come in with so many gifts, so much uniqueness. And the joy is in our being who we are, expressing that.
Right. So when we withhold that authentic expression of ourselves, I mean, how does that work in relationship? You know, for me, not too good. And for most people, I don't think it is either. And so when we have conversations with our clients about this, it isn't hard for them to see that if we accommodate, you know, if we try to eat the way they do when we go out and not really share with them what we're doing, or if we try to avoid the questions of, well, where do you get your protein? What about the calcium? The classic vegan questions. We try to avoid all that. The relationship is very superficial. It's not very deep. And what is it that we really want when we come together with our friends and family in terms of relationship? You know,
We want to be ourselves, and they want us to be ourselves.
that's it. We want to connect on a deeper level than just agreeing on what's good to eat and what isn't. So the thing that we help our clients see that helps them lots of times break out of these old behavioral patterns and habits is that we develop the whole people pleasing thing and the avoidance of the feelings of disapproval at a very young age. When we're children, and mom gets upset, it's like, ooh, I better figure out how to not upset her. And when we're 3 years old, that makes a lot of sense because we need to be taken care of. So some of these strategies really were beneficial when we were children. But we get so ingrained as to that's how we create relationships that we don't outgrow as we develop, as we become adults. And we find ourselves doing these kind of childish things at the dinner table, not wanting to share that, wow, I found this new way of eating and all the pain is leaving my body. We don't have to get out there and proselytize or be an evangelist, we don't have to change anybody. But if we see that what I really want in terms of my relationship with others is a deep connection where we're able to share authentically the love that we are, it really turns things around.
Yeah, and what you can do simply is, well, I'm really wanting to feel better, so I'm going to give this a try and see how it works. Thanks for asking.
Yeah, because so often when we come up against those feelings of a right and a wrong way to eat, it's such a black and white kind of thing. And life actually isn't that way. That's again another way of perceiving life that we develop as a young child. It's either or, it's this or that. When in fact, life is just always spontaneously unfolding. It's a this and a that. It's like I was reading a newsletter from a lady we follow around whole food plant-based, and she's moving out of her house on Maui. And she was pointing out how she could get really depressed about all this, or she can see it for what it is, that there's an aspect that she's going to miss this house. She loves the house. And there's the joy of moving on to what she knows is next. Life isn't an either or. Life is this and that. And it's a lovely thing to keep in mind because then I don't fall into that trap of feeling like I have to defend a position. I never have to defend my position about how I want to eat because it's just what I'm choosing to do right now. That might change tomorrow. But when I have this idea that I've got to eat this way to be healthy and screw the world, it's like, well, I'm putting myself in kind of a tight little box. Whereas if it's like, I'm eating this way because I feel so good when I do, then I'm free to, when I don't feel so good, explore something else new. And I'm not just into this habit and routine and automation in my life. I'm there present in every moment, making the choice that comes from listening to my body, to this intelligence and wisdom in my body. That's a healthy relationship with my body. That creates a healthy relationship with food.
Yeah, we've been preaching about listening to your body forever because there is vast intelligence within the body if we just pay attention. How do I feel when I eat this? If I feel great, I'm on the right trail. If I feel lousy, something to look at. And maybe ask the body, what would be a better choice here? It'll be very clear with you.
Yeah, it's that same thing. It's not being afraid to really access the wisdom of our bodies, not just get caught in the old routines and habits about how we eat because it's been comfortable there. But something shows up and I'm losing energy or clarity or there's some pain. And it's like, oh, but I don't want to give up the way I eat because I'm so comfortable when I eat that way. Not being afraid to be authentic and really listen openly to the intelligence of the body and explore like a young child, explore.
Yeah, with others, if we think we're showing love by going along with someone else's approach to life that isn't ideal for us, it's time to get quiet and really look at that. When we go along with, are we doing it really for that other person or to feel some comfort within that covers over feelings that are deeper that we don't want to feel? Like maybe taking a stand for what we believe in and feel is good for us at this moment.
We can always take that stand on the platform of love,
Yes.
on the platform of this is the way it is for me and it's right, and therefore get off my case or you're doing it wrong. It's just like, this is what's good for me. And I understand if you don't want to do it. I mean, I don't have a problem with how you eat. So yeah, we just like actually enjoy the challenge of working with clients who find it challenging to really be authentic about the changes that they're making in their lives, because it can open up so much in their relationships on all other levels as well. When we begin to see that these old solutions from our childhood to please others or to avoid feelings of disapproval, that they don't really work for us anymore. And we begin to explore new ways of being authentic from this place of love that we are. And it deepens our relationships. It deepens our conversations. It actually brings more intimacy and closeness.
Yeah, and I might, as the listener to you, learn something.
Right.
And that makes the relationship a lot more interesting.
Mm-hmm. Recipe.
We are going to do chickpea omelet with lots of veggies. And it was really amazing. Bill made it yesterday and it even tastes a bit like egg. Surprising.
Now, I've got to give a little caveat to that.
Yeah.
We haven't eaten eggs for 35 years or so. So I sometimes have a little bit of a problem when someone says, oh, this tastes just like a hamburger. This tastes just like a hot dog. This tastes like eggs. And if I really compare it, I don't know that it does, but it satisfies that same place in me that hamburgers, hot dogs, and eggs used to. But it has a different texture than eggs. I'll just throw that out there.
So enjoy it and make it because it's worth it and it's yummy.
Yeah, that's really good. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you again next week.